Go ahead and get with the questions. Yeah, let's do that. I'm sure you got a couple. Go ahead, Gar.
Loyola wins.
Yeah.
You played them a 4-point game, and you got to feel like you were right there to make that run this week.
We were. There's no question, and that gets. We were playing good enough going in. I know I talked about that a lot before we got down there. We were playing our best basketball. We had that great run November, December, but when things got really hard early in conference play, we didn't respond well enough, and we figured it out with whatever it was. If it was 3 weeks or a month, we figured it out, and we were playing well enough. We needed to make a couple more plays. I could have done 2 or 3 things better and different in that game against Loyola that would have helped us. And I know our guys feel like they had a play or two in them that could have helped us. So it was a team deal, and I'm as big a part of that, the biggest part of that in a lot of ways. And so I wish I would have done 1, 2, or 3 things different, because I feel like our team was playing well enough and with the kind of confidence that you need to win a semifinal game and win a championship game. And then we're, like I said, we're getting ready for practice. So no complaints with the way the guys finished the season. Proud of them for staying on it when things weren't going well. I know I've touched on that, but as I thought about it the last 2 days, proud of them for that. Because it could have really got out of hand, and it didn't. And you want to have as good a year as you can. You like everything to go great, and you want to be at the top of the conference standings all year long. There's no question about that. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. But regardless of how it goes during that January, February, you need to be playing your best at the end so you have a chance. And that was the case this year. So other than getting that win against Loyola and getting to that semifinal game, really feel good about the way the guys ended the season.
Just your thoughts on Porter Moser and Loyola, the team that came in and replaced Creighton a number of years ago, them having the year they did and going to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, they don't make mistakes, and that's I think they are going to have a chance to win. Maybe not just a first round game, maybe more than that. I think you get a lot of people talking right now. We don't want to see this team in the first round, or hey, this team could win a first round game. I don't necessarily look at it that way. I mean, I think in Loyola's case, and in some with some other teams as well, Loyola's good enough to win, and a lot of that is because they don't make mistakes. And as soon as you do as an opponent, as soon as you open that door just a little bit, they blow through it. And it could be a 3-possession stretch. It could be a 8-possession stretch. It could be 2 minutes, could be 4, whatever that time is. When you make a mistake, they blow through that door, and all of a sudden you're down 6, and then you can play even they'll play you even. But then when you make another mistake, they're going to blow that thing open too, and because they just don't make very many at either end. So they've got a good enough roster, and they don't make mistakes, and are hard to guard. They got a skill level, and they can move that ball around, and they get that thing going, and you're chasing them everywhere, and they're really hard to guard. So it's going to be fun to watch them. Yeah, fun to watch them.
With losing the 4 seniors, was there any discussion or thought at all about any of the other postseason tournaments, or are they still around?
Those tournaments are still around. We will not play in them. No, so we will not play in them this year. No.
Going forward, what do you have to do to get back to the top of this league?
Yeah, it's we weren't I've had enough. It hasn't been long, but I've had enough time to think about a lot of the different things, and that being one of them. You could make a pretty good case, Doug, that we weren't far off. I think there were, if I'm not mistaken, 3 games that were double figures. I think everything else was under 10. The home game, we got off to a tough start. The home game with Southern to start the year was a tie game, I think, with 90 seconds left. The home game with Loyola, a couple games later, was we were up 4, had the ball, and had a layup that didn't go in to put us up 6 with about 2.5 to go. And they ended up making a couple of big shots and beat us in a one-possession game. So you could make that case that with a little bit better play here at home to start the season, we had some leads in the second half. At Bradley, we were ahead to start the second half. At Indiana State, we were ahead to start the second half. There were some other games where the game was tied at halftime, or at Southern, who finished second, at Loyola, who finished first. Those games were close for a long time. So you could make that case, which is certainly part of it. I've always preferred, I guess, to make the other case that we have to get better. And that'll be our message with the guys. I think our seniors did a terrific job this year, given the situation we put ourselves in. They fought hard, and we had a chance to get to the NCAA tournament because we were playing good enough. We had a good enough team, and we were playing good enough. So I give our seniors a lot of credit for that. Now, in order to be a championship team, you've got to do things at a high level every day. And so whether that is this spring, this summer, this fall, to start conference play when the games get really hard. We had that great November and December, and we had a lot of guys playing with a lot of confidence and playing very well. The conference games are hard because everybody knows everybody, and we didn't respond well enough to those hard games. So that means we got to get better. That means we've got to take. I think our guys take a good approach, but we're going to have to take a better approach in the off season, so that we earn. You've got to earn that edge. And I thought that in those two games that I talked about, I thought Southern and Loyola had a little bit of an edge to them. They wanted to get up. They wanted to get ahead of Northern Iowa, or ahead of whomever. They wanted to get ahead in the league standings, and they had a little bit of an edge to them. So we've got to earn that edge this spring, this summer, this fall. I believe we've got the right kind of guys to do it, Doug. I feel really good about our guys. But we have to understand that the process takes a heck of a commitment, and it's got to be a daily commitment. And that's where that difference comes in.
You got a couple scholarships to work with. When you look at the guys you lost, you got A.J. Green come in. What are kind of maybe some immediate needs you'd like to try and fulfill as far as personnel roster-wise?
Yeah, the spot that's most glaring would be Clint's position. That's the one that. And there's some different ways we can go. You saw our team this year when we went smaller with Ty and Isaiah, what would be at the 3 and the 4, really just having 4 guards out there like we did with Paulie and Jeremy and Wes and Bo. And we did that some this year, and that would be available to us. Isaiah and Ty are both going to be better players a year from now and much more ready for that. And we've got the majority. Hunter graduates, but everyone else is back. When you look at that point guard position, the combo spot, the off guard spot, so we're going to have guys there with experience. So going smaller is on the table. In saying that, we need to be a little more. We've got to be a little more physical. We've got to be better defensively. We've got to be better in terms of rebounding. You think about Yarborough from Illinois State. We've got to be able to defend him better. There's some other guys in our league when you look at some of the teams and what they return. So that position is one that we've got to strengthen that spot. And we've got 2 scholarships to do it. And if we can find somebody that can come in and immediately, because they have experience, immediately impact that position on our team, we're looking at all options there. And then also looking at some high school guys like we do all the time, and seeing if we can add a really good high school guy at kind of similar in that position. Because the guys at the center spot with Fife and Luke and Justin Dahl. I mean, we got 3 guys there that can play, and depending on who we're playing against or how it goes, 2 of those guys, Fife and Luke, are both skilled enough they could be on the floor together. It just changed it a little bit defensively, but we got some guys at that center spot, and we got everybody but Hunter is back with all those guards. And as you mentioned, you add AJ to that group. So it's really that power forward, combo forward type of guy that we've got to get shored up.
With just the one senior next year in White, do you plan on playing as competitive at 9 as you did this year?
Oh man, we'd love to. It's just you know the deal there. We'd love to. If we could have that same schedule every year, no matter who's on our team, yeah, we would take it every single year, no matter what our roster looks like. It's almost impossible. Nets is working on it all year round, and been working on it again. All the last couple months, like we always do. We'll keep hammering away at it, and I hope we can get some of those games, but it's not going to look like last year's. Some of that stuff fell together right for us, which was great. We're going to St. Thomas to play in the Paradise Jam, and there's going to be good teams in that tournament, so that part of it's good. But the Carolina game, the Xavier game, some of those are off the table. The home and home is done, or the 2-for-1, those are done now, and we'd love to be able to, sign them up again. But it's hard to get those games, especially here at home. Anybody else? All right, thanks.